polygon is a closed figure with 3 or more sides. Okay, so it has to be straight sides and it has to be closed. So the sides are line segments that form a shape. And all of those line segments come together at vertices. We've talked about vertices before, but they are the points where the two sides meet. So how many sides does this polygon have? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that polygon has 5 sides, and how many vertices does it have? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices. So what's a shape called that has 5 sides? Pentagon. That would be a pentagon. Even though it doesn't look like a regular pentagon, it is because it's not regular. That's an irregular pentagon. Okay, so equilateral is a polygon that has all equal sides. Equiangular is a polygon that has all equal angles. And a regular polygon is a polygon that is both equiangular and equilateral. So it has the same side length, same angle measures. Remember, a polygon has straight sides, 3 or more, and it has to be closed. So if I'm looking at example 1, is that a polygon? No, why not?
Because it only has 2 sides.
Because it has 2 straight sides, but it has a curved side. So is a circle a polygon? No, circle only has technically 1 side. So it couldn't be a polygon. Okay, on number 2, is that a polygon? Yes. How many sides does it have?
4.
4. So what kind of polygon is that?
Already.
Quadrilateral. It can be quadrilateral because it has 4 sides. Okay. Is number 3, is that polygon equilateral?
Yes.
Yes, and it is. We know it's equilateral because all the sides are marked as equal. Okay, on number 4, is that polygon equiangular? Are all the angle measures the same?
Yes.
No. This angle right here is obviously larger than that one right there. And since they're not marked, we can't know for sure. So that would not be equiangular. On number 5, we want to mark the polygon to show it's regular. So if a polygon's regular, we know all the sides are the same. So we mark all the sides as congruent. And we have to mark the angles as congruent. So now since all sides and angles are congruent, that is now a regular pentagon. Okay, number 6, is that shaped polygon?
No.
Why not? It's open.
So number 5 is yes.
No, it's not a yes or no. It's just to mark it. Okay. So with polygons, we can find the sum of their interior angles by using a formula. So to determine the sum of the interior angles of a polygon, we use the formula n minus 2 times 180. And N would be the number of sides.
Wait, so then why wouldn't that be S? Why would it?
Remember.
I think it's because they use S as the sum of all angles. Normally they'll put a big S equals that. The sum of all angles. Okay, so what is a three-sided shape called?
Triangle.
Triangle, so that's the name for it. And then how many or what's the sum of the interior angles of a triangle always? 180. So if we did that and we did 3 minus 2, so we plugged in the formula, 3 minus 2 is 1, 1 times 180 is 180. Okay, what is the name of all four-sided shapes? Quadrilateral. That is a quadrilateral. Okay, so we need to find the sum of those interior angles. If you want to use the formula, you can. What's 4 minus 2?
2.
What's 2 times 180? 360. So every quadrilateral has an interior sum of 360 degrees. Okay, what's a five-sided shape called? Pentagon. And then to find that, 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 times 180 is what? 540. If you notice, how much are they increasing each time? 180. What's a six-sided figure called? Hexagon. Okay, so 6 minus 2 times 180, so 4 times 180. What? 720. So hexagon has an interior sum of 720. Does anybody know what a seven-sided figure is? Starts with H. Hexagon. So 7 minus 2 is 5. What's 5 times 180? 900. What's the eight-sided figure called? Octagon. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 times 180 is what? 1080. Anybody know the name for a nine-sided polygon? Nope. It is a nonagon. So 9 minus 2 is 7. 7 times 180 is what? 1260. Okay. From what I know, he was just letting them do whatever they wanted to do. Yeah, I came up here because Morgan said they were going crazy. Yeah, I don't think they did. They were loud, they were walking around, throwing tennis balls, they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing on the Chromebook. Alright, thank you. Okay, anybody know what a 10-sided shape is? The decagon. You know,
What's the next one?
Oh, yeah, decade is.
I can't remember what an 11-sided one is, because it's some long name, but normally after 8, they start calling it a 9-sided polygon, a 10-sided polygon, 11-sided polygon, and so on. But decagon is 10, and then 10 minus 2 is 8. What's 8 times 180? 14,000. 1,400.
1,400.
Okay, and then it skips 11 and goes straight to 12. Okay, so a 12-sided polygon is a dodecagon. And so that would be 12 minus 2 is 10. What's 10 times 180? 1,800.
Wait, so if she gets quarantine, does that mean that they get quarantine right here?
No, she just positive. Dang, that sucks for Chapman. She's down there.
Yeah. She's like, that's what I thought she was pointing at. I was like, she just got it.
On number 1, how many sides does that shape have? 6. So what would that shape's name be? A hexagon.
I did it.
And a hexagon does have interior sum of 720.
I did it.
Okay. So, on number 2, how many sides does that have? It has 7. So, I need to know the sum of the interior angles for a 7-sided shape. So what, 5 times 180 is 900. So all of those should add up to equal what?
900.
900. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add all those up. So 113 plus 130 plus 105 plus 152 plus 133 plus 143. And that gives you 776 degrees plus that x that it has should equal 900.
So 900 take away 700.
So 900 minus 776 is 124. So x is 124 degrees.
Oh, sorry. Let me set that No.
Okay, on number 3, that's a 5-sided shape. So 5 minus 2 is 3. What's 3 times 180? 540. So all of those should add up to equal 540. So we'll do 540 minus the sum of all of those. So what's 165 plus 150 plus 100 plus 82?
497.
497. So 540 minus 497.
There should be.
Alright, look at the next one. Look at the next one, man. It's a little difficult. It's actually equal angle, so.
So what's x equal? 43. 43.
It is an equal angle. No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
There are 2 sets of equal angles in it, but it's not explained.
So 1 equals that. Oh, okay.
Okay, so all 4 of those will add to equal what? Quadrilateral. What a quadrilateral equals? 360. So I'm gonna add all those up. So I have y plus y is 2y plus 105 plus 180 minus y equals 360. Okay, so what's 2y minus y? Y. And then what's 105 plus 180?
285.
So I have y plus 285 equals 360.
$75. Why?
Y equals 25.
So
$70.
So what's 360 minus 285?
75.
75. So y is 75. So both of these angles will be 75. And then what's 180 minus 75?
105.
105. So here, opposite angles are congruent, but not all four angles are the same. If all four angles are the same in a quadrilateral, what shape would it be? There's two shapes it could be. A square or a rectangle. Okay, so I want y'all to go ahead and let's see, do all of page 3. Go ahead and try all of page 3. That's a polygon. Okay, on the next one, that is a 6-sided shape, that's a hexagon. So if I did the little formula, 6 minus 2 times 180, 4 times 180 gives me 720. So all of those should add to equal 720. So 720, take away the sum of the ones we do know. What do all 5 of the ones we know add to equal?
605.
605. What's 720 minus 605?
115.
115. So x equals 115. Okay, on number 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sides. So it has 10 sides. What will we call that? A decagon. And then 10 minus 2 times 180.
10. Oh, no.
8 times 180 is 1440. Okay, on number 5, we have a pentagon. So we have 5 minus 2 times 180. So 3 times 180. That gives you 540. So 540 minus the sum of the ones we know. What do those add to? 460. So what is 540 minus 460? So x equals 80 degrees. Okay, on number 6, is that shape of polygon?
Yes.
Yes, what type of polygon is it? A triangle. Okay, number 7 wants to know what's the sum of the interior angles on this polygon. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides. So 7 minus 2 times 180.
10.
So 5 times 180 is what? 900. Okay, so we have a quadrilateral on number 8. So 360 minus the sum of the angles we already have. Plus 104 plus 104 plus 76. It's 284, then 360 minus 284 gives you 76. Okay, then it wants an example of a regular polygon. That could be any equilateral or equiangular polygon. You can draw a square, a rectangle, well, a square would be regular, not a rectangle. So a square would have all right angles, and all 4 sides will be the same. So a square would be that. You could draw a triangle, equilateral triangle, with all the same sides and angles. Basically, any polygon with the same size and same angle. Okay. Any questions on that page? Okay. So on page 4, number 1 wants you to find the sum of the interior angles of a 15 gon. So all we have to do is we take our formula. N minus 2 times 180. So 15 minus 2 times 180.
2, 3,
So 13 times 180 is what?
2,340.
2,340 degrees. Okay. Number 2 wants you to do the same thing. Find the sum of the interior angles of a 21 gon. So 21 minus 2 times 180. That is the formula you will use anytime to find the interior angles of a shape. The sum of the interior angles of a shape. So 21 minus 2 is 19. 19 times 180 is what?
3,420.
3,420. Okay. Number 3 is a little bit different. It wants you to find the measure of each interior angle of a regular pentagon. First, let's find the sum of the angles of a pentagon. So 5 minus 2 times 180 is 3 times 180, which is 540. So we know all the angles of that pentagon add to equal 540. If the pentagon is regular, what do we know about all the angles? They are equal. So that means we're going to split 540 into 5 equal parts. So we're splitting 540 into 5 equal angles. So what's 540 divided by 5?
108.
108. So each angle of a regular pentagon is 108 degrees. Do the same thing with number 4. So you need to find the sum of the interior angles of an 18 gon. So 18 minus 2 times 180. So 16 times 180.
About 18.
What is 16 times 180? 2,880. And then we want to take that and divide it into 18 equal angles.
160.
And that does give you 160 degrees for each of the 18 angles. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at, we've been looking at interior angles, now we're going to look at exterior angles. So, if we have, like on this one, we have a triangle. If we extend a line straight out of each vertex, then that forms a straight angle, which two angles form a linear pair. What a linear pair is always equal? 180. So to find this exterior angle, we'll do 180 minus 79. What's 180 minus 79?
101.
101. What's 180 minus 40?
140.
140. And then what's 180 minus 61?
190.
Okay? And then we want to find the sum of all those angles. So 101 plus 119 plus 140 is 360. So the sum of the exterior angles of a triangle is 360.
Is it always going to be that way? So it's always going to double?
We'll see after the next one. Okay, so that's for the triangle. So we're going to do the same steps with the quadrilateral. 180 minus 71 is 109. 180 minus 124 is 56. 180 minus 76 is 104, and 180 minus 89 is 91. Then we'll add all those up. 109 plus 91 is 56 plus 104.
All equal 50.
That does give you 360 again. So what do you think is true about every set of exterior angles?
They all equal 360.
They always add to equal 360. So down at that blank at the bottom of that little section, the conclusion is the sum of the exterior angles of any polygon is 360. So the sum of the exterior angles of any polygon is always 360. And that's important. You're gonna have to know that. Exterior angles always equal 360. Okay. So, on number 5, it says, what's the measure of each exterior angle of a regular hexagon? So, a regular hexagon has all equal interior angles, which means it'll have all equal exterior angles. So, we're going to take 360, because that's the sum of all exterior angles, and we're going to divide it by the number of sides. How many sides does a hexagon have? 6. So, what's 360 divided by 6? 60 degrees. So if all external angles of a regular hexagon are 60, what are all of the internal angles? 180 minus 60 is 120. So all the angles of a regular hexagon inside would be 120. Okay, what's the measure of each exterior angle for a regular 24-gon? Again, you just take 360 divided by 24, because we're looking at exterior angles. So what's 360 divided by 24?
15.
15. Okay, so if the measure, or if the exterior angle of a regular polygon is 12 degrees, how many sides does the polygon have? So we can take 360 and divide it into sections of 12 degrees. So 360 divided by 12, so 360 divided into sections of 12 degrees. How many of those would I have? 30. So that would have 30 sides. And then the same thing for the next one, 360 divided by 40. How many sides would that polygon have? 9.
Are we doing a quiz today? We're doing a quiz today? We only got 2 more pages.
I don't think we should.
I think we should.
Oh, thanks for the slide. I like it. Yeah, but that was
Some of the tasks were like hard to do, like the hardest one I did not understand how to do.
Okay, so looking at page 5, at the top we have just some formulas review. So the sum of interior angles of a polygon, that is big S equals the n minus 2 times 180.
What is the S have to do?
The S equals the sum of interior angles.
That means
So S equals sum of interior angles.
So why does it have to be big as?
It's called like complicated or something.
The northwest is,
And then N is the number of sides.
Why we can we write it the other way? Can we write it?
This is the way that I'm gonna show you, so, I mean, whatever makes you do. Okay, so if we want to find the interior angle of a regular polygon, we'll take the sum of the angles and divide it by the number of sides. So like what we did on number 3 on the last page. We take the sum of the angles and divide it by the number of sides. Then if you want the sum of exterior angles of a polygon, those will always be 360 degrees. Then if you want an exterior angle of a regular polygon, just like we did on number 7 on the last page, we'll take, no, just like we did on numbers 5 and 6 on the last page, 360 divided by the number of sides. And then if you want the number of sides, you take 360 and divide it by the exterior angle measure. Okay, so on number 1, it wants the sum of the measures of an interior angles of a pentagon. How many sides does a pentagon have? 5. So 5 minus 2 times 180, the same as 3 times 180. What's 3 times 180?
540.
540.
Anytime I put it in the calculator, it always gives me like a different number. It gives me like a negative.
See, that's cap.
Parentheses. Yeah, you have to do the parentheses.
That's cap.
Okay. What's the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a 27 gon? 27 minus 2 times 180.
45.
It's 25 times 180, which is 4,500.
Do we have to remember how much they are?
No, because you can do the formula, the n minus 2 times
Oh
180.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay, so what is the measure of each interior angle of a regular octagon? So first we need to find the sum of the angles of an octagon. So 8 minus 2 times 180. So 6 times 180. Is what?
take you to 200.
480.
1080, so 1080. And then we need to divide that by what?
134.
And then divide that
8.
8. So what's 1080 divided by 8?
135.
135. So each angle of a regular octagon is 135. So then it wants the measure of each interior angle of a regular 20 gon. So we're going to do the same thing. 20 minus 2 times 180. Which is 18 times 180. What's 18 times 180? 3,000.
3,240.
3,240, and then we'll divide that by what? 20. So 162 degrees.
I can do my work, you ain't doing your work.
Yes, I am. I was
Wait a
already
minute.
done.
Newsflash.
so 5 angles of a hexagon are those 5 angles, 119, 129, 104, 139, and 95. What's the measure of the 6th angle? So, if we're looking at it, we have 6-sided shapes, so 6 minus 2 times 180 gives you 720. Then those 5 add to equal 586. So 720 minus 586 will give you your answer. And y'all said it was 134. So on those two, you're just working backwards. Then on number 8, what's the sum of the measures of the exterior angles of a nonagon? What's the sum of exterior angles on any polygon? 360. Okay. Then it wants the measure of exterior angles on a regular 20gon. What's 360 divided by 20?
Why are you doing this one divided by 20 and not that one?
And not what?
Why are you doing this one divided by 20 and not the other one divided by 9?
Yes. So 360 divided by 20 is 18?
Yes.
So 18 degrees. Wow.
So you got this done, you wait.
Alright. Keep your shoes on your feet, please. That's Kaden, K-A-E-D.
So if the measure of a regular polygon measures 9 degrees of the exterior angle, how many sides does the polygon have? What am I gonna do? I'm gonna take 360 and do what with it? Divide by what? 9. 9. So I have 360 divided by 9. What's 360 divided by 9?
360 divided by 9 is 40.
So that shape would have 40 sides. That would be a 40gon.
How do you know when to divide it and when to just put 60?
Big brain?
When you divide it and just put 60.
Yeah,
No, but how do you know when to divide like 360 divided by 9 or just put like 360 like
If it just asks what the sum of exterior angles are, then it's 360. If it asks what each angle is, or if it asks how many sides there are, you'll divide it. Okay, so if the interior angle of a regular 30, not a regular 30, a regular polygon is 108, how many sides does that polygon have? So, with this one, it's talking about interior angles. We can't do this with interior angles because we don't know the number of sides and we don't know the sum of all the angles. So, what would we need to do? Is we are gonna change this to an exterior angle problem. So if I wanna change it to an exterior angle, what am I gonna do with that 108? I'm gonna subtract it from what? 180. So 180 minus 108 is 72 degrees. So we want to change to exterior angles. That's what we're doing here.
360 minus 70.
So now that we have this exterior angle measure for each one of those regular angles, we'll take 360 and divide it by what? 72. What's 360 divided by 72?
Wow. 5. It's pentagon.
We have 5 sides and it is a pentagon. Okay, on number 12, you want to find the value of x. What do all the angles of a quadrilateral always equal? 360. That's important. That's what we're going to be looking at most is quadrilaterals. So we know they add to equal 360. So what did the three angles given add to equal?
244.
244. So what is 360 minus 244? 116. Does everybody understand where we got that 244 from?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, how many sides does this next shape have? 7. So 7 minus 2 times 180 will be 5 times 180. And that's 900. So all of those angles add to equal 900. So we're going to do 900 minus the sum of all those angles. So remember, that's a right angle, so it's 90. So add up all 6 of the angles we know and tell me what they add to equal. 106?
I mean,
806.
yeah, 806.
So all 6 of those would add to equal 806.
And then
Then 900 minus 806
94.
is 94 degrees.
Imagine.
14 is really hard.
Imagine.
806.
It really is. Like, I'm stuck.
And Barnett,
No,
I've never heard of that.
no, that's how you felt up.
I didn't come out last time. I made a 99 one.
About time you passed.
Hey, so on the next one, number 14, how many sides does this shape have?
Wait, no.
No.
7. I did.
6.
6. Yeah, 6.
So 6 minus 2 times 180. So 4 times 180 is what? 720.
So you can set
So all of those angles add to equal what?
You're gonna set all that equal to 720?
So you can write it all out if you want to. 8x minus 1 plus 5x plus 36 plus 116 plus 7x plus 19 plus 6x minus 2 plus 110. You can add all that up. You can put it all like I just put it. Or you
That's a
can
lot to
go
look at.
through. You can go through and add as you go, like you've been doing. So what is 8x plus 5x plus 7x plus 6x?
26. And then all the numbers equal
26x.
52.
And then add up all the numbers. So
Equal
10, 110 minus 1 plus 36 plus 116 plus 19 minus 2.
Isn't it, 150?
Oh, never mind.
So 110 minus 1 plus 36 plus 116 plus 19 minus
278.
2 is 278.
Let's go.
And all of those angles will add to equal
720.
720.
Why did you do that?
Because I don't really know what you said.
I said 720. You sound speaking too fast.
Okay, so I just rewrote that up here so I could do the math. So
Oh.
now I'm going to use inverse operations to solve. So I'll subtract 278 plus 720 minus 278.
442.
What's 442 divided by 26?
17.
17, 30. Yep.
So x equals 17.
M to the B.
We have a four-sided shape that's quadrilateral. What do all quadrilaterals always add to equal?
360.
360. So instead of writing it all out, what's 8x plus 5x plus 10x plus 14x? Is 37x?
Yes.
So I just added up all those things. Now I'm going to add up all the numbers. So 7 plus 18 plus 13 minus 11. Positive 27. and that will all add to equal 360. So all the sum of all the angles adds to equal 360. So I'm doing just like what I did with triangles. Instead this time I'm just not writing out the step to add it all together. I'm not writing out this step.
Actually, 9. 79.
Okay. So I'll subtract 27. Now 37x equals, what's 360 minus 27?
333.
333. Then what am I gonna do to both sides?
Divided by
Divided by 37. So what does x equal? X equals 9. Am I done yet? No, I've got to find angle B. So to find angle B, I'm gonna do 8 times 9 plus 7. Eight times 9 is 72. What's 72 plus 7? 79. So angle B is 79 degrees.
Why are you adding 7? Because we couldn't angle it. We're doing that in all the angles.
Okay, on number 16, there's at least 2 different ways you could go about doing this on number 16.
Is there?
First thing, what?
That's what-
So first thing first, we need to figure out how many sides this polygon has. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So it has 10 sides. So I need to find the measure of each angle, or of all the angles. So 10 minus 2 times 180. So 8 times 180 is what? 1440. So all of those angles added together equal 1440. So I only know one of those. So if I only know one of them, I need to find the measure for one angle, right?
Oh, so you multiply?
You can multiply or you can divide.
I'm
I like to
multiplying.
divide. So what I would do is I would take that 1440 and divide it by 10. What's 1440 divided by 10?
144.
144. So each one of those angles in there equals what? 144. So what I could do is I could take that 10x plus 4 equals 144 and solve from there.
Minus 4 was 14.
So subtract the 4. You
Oh, it
get
equals
10x
40.
equals 140.
14.
I mean 4.
Divide by 10, and x does equal 14.
Which means you gotta plug it back in.
Well, no, I just wanted to do
Okay.
it.
I do that.
So,
Yeah, I did that complicated.
the other way you could have done it is you could have done 10 times 10x plus 4 equals 1440. And get 100x plus 40 equals 1440. 100x equals 1400, then divide by that and you'll get x equals 14. So there's 2 different ways you could do it. Neither one's more correct than the other. They're both perfectly fine and get the same answer. On number 17, those are exterior angles. All exterior angles of any polygon add to equal what? 360. So I'm gonna add them all up. So 7x plus 5x, 4x, 9x, and 4x. So 7 plus 5 is 12, 12 plus 4 is 16, 16 plus 9 is 25, and 25 plus 4 is 29. So 29x. And then 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 9 is 17, yes. 17 minus 6 is 11, 11 plus 1 is 12. So I have 29x plus 12 equals 360.
minus 12 is 248.
Subtract 12 from both sides, that's 29x equals 348. Divide by 29. And what does x equal?
12.